So it's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. in Japan. Yeah, we live on this globe. Like it's a different time of day in different places. It's the whole thing. It's
I love it.
Trippy.
I love it.
And Jimmy just got off of the edge of obscurity and beyond with our good friend Sean over at MetaCollect, which is super fun. Talking about like craziness in the ecosystem. Shout out to Framed Games and TinyMrsB who tweeted that out and they tuned in for that show that we do over there on the MetaCollect network. And they actually set us up with Robasmith and Fernando, who are basically in the Solana system, and you guys are like doing NFTs, and I'm super stoked to meet you because as I told Corey and as Corey told me in the comments, when the world is on fire is kind of where we excel, believe it or not. That meme of Elmo, as the playground burns behind him.
Yeah.
So how are you guys? Welcome to the show. Corey was probably super excited to do this when I was sleeping because he actually gets a chance to talk because Jimmy was not here to do things. But Corey, what do you think? Like, if you could pick one of 10 different things to show after these people introduce themselves, spin it to me in the private chat. We definitely got to showcase the gallery because the fucking world's on fire and people need art, man.
Yes, and like right, you guys are on Solana, right? So I think it's only a matter of time before we end up minting worlds on Solana. Of course, they're going to connect to the rest of our metaverse. So when you're in world, it's just going to be, you'll be walking from Ethereum to Solana to Wax. You're just going to be able to walk, kind of between all the tribes. But I would already say, like, because we, like, every time we go to a new place, we bring on, a few projects that we basically just give you some land to build a gallery on. And I already know I would love to have you guys there. So we'll just earmark that for another time. But yeah, we should totally do that. I guess the biggest thing is, like, we want to introduce you guys to the people in, our kind of extended family. So, start at the beginning, fire us some things that we can, take a look at, and tell us everything.
Yeah, who the hell are you and what do you do? Like, we've heard you're freaking amazing, and like we're not joking around.
we're very much community people, so everything
is that you, Jimmy?
Call. Yeah.
Oh, Fernando, could you? This is live on YouTube now, right? Could you share this in our Discord, Fernando?
It is live.
How do I do that?
Just go to the Uplift YouTube channel, and you should be able to share it.
I'll throw the YouTube link in the private chat. You'll be able to pick it up from there.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah, if you could. For some reason, my other laptop's decided to have a meltdown. So where was I? So yeah, we're very much community people. So we've been in the space for myself probably about 2.5 years now. But in Solana actually for not a very long time. But I was drawn into Solana due to the accessibility, the low gas fees, the fact that Solana is very much up and coming, and it just feels like a much more comfortable place to be. It's a bit more relaxed than perhaps ETH or the BSC projects.
Definitely more relaxed than Terra right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
like
too soon. Yeah,
Jesus,
dude. Like I'm in the midst of getting wrecked. So like, just to be fair, I deal with
I think
pain
you should be able to
in very masochistic ways. But this is what I've heard, and I'm not poking fun, but this is what I've heard. It's the same developers, it's the same programming language over on Solana as it is on Terra, and I've heard that like the best developers are still sticking to Solana. Right, like I've heard that the largest communities, even when Terra's pumped over the last year, thousands of %, right? Like they were still sticking on Solana, and Solana has its own problems with the network going down and stuff. But there's a really solid community of artists, especially that have like kind of plugged themselves into the Solana ecosystem. And like you said, it's really relaxed and it's really off base. But there's a lot of people who are really involved and really supportive of what's going on in that space. And so I'm kind of curious as to why it can be so relaxed yet at the same time still so, highly regarded. Like Solana people don't really get shit from anyone, right? Like, you don't get the Ethereum, people or the Bitcoin people really saying like, you haven't built anything, it's a shit coin. I mean, you get shit for 30 hours when the network goes down, but the rest of the time it's all like daisies and dances and fields of wonder and dreams, right? Like, it kind of seems like that to me. I could be wrong. You guys are in the ecosystem, you're in the space, you have to deal with the FUD. Please correct me.
I think that the main issue with Solana at the moment is the fact that it's not handling as many transactions as it's supposed to be able to handle. So there's a lot of time when you are sat there staring at your Phantom wallet, you just get this circle going around, sending, and you're sat there for like 3-4 minutes, and you've tried it 10 times, and all you're trying to do is send a whitelist token to somebody or something. And it can be a little bit frustrating at times in regards to the speed of the network, but that's going to improve, of course, and we are still very early for Solana. So I think the pros that you get with it, i.e. the low gas fees, definitely outweigh the very few negatives that we've got at the moment. And again, of course, it's still very early stages. They're going to iron these things out. Things are going to improve. And more people are coming over to Solana, and it's no wonder why, really.
How I see it is that, Solana doesn't have the same gas fees as Ethereum. That's why I started in Solana, and that's why I'm going to stay here. When I came in, I didn't see that it was due to traffic that Solana got slow on transactions. I started seeing it obviously when I guess it was Ethereum people coming in. So that's how I still see it. I don't want to know about any $500 gas fees, and it's just great that Solana is this way, and it's mostly fast. So I love the NFTs in this space. I thought it was only in Ethereum, but I'm talking about months ago, right? But Solana is definitely growing in that aspect, and I love it,
Well, so Corey asked me on the last stream. He was in the comments on the last stream that we did, and he asked me what I'm most bullish on, and I kind of want to reiterate this, right? Like, I'm pretty fucking bullish on the uplift. This is why I'm here, right? Like, but what I'm most bullish on in the space, and especially why I'm bullish on the uplift, is because right now we've got a ton of people in the uplift, which right now resides on Wax. And there are a ton of art galleries that are displaying art from Solana, that are displaying art from Terra, that are displaying art from Ethereum, but we're all on Wax. So what I'm really bullish about is when we get to the point where we can actually launch a world on Solana, and Solana people can display their Solana art on the Solana blockchain in the Uplift World metaverse. That's what I'm flipping bullish about, right? Like, that's what I want to see, right? Like, I want to see that ability to bring that in. I'm not sure if you guys are plugged into what we are doing here, but like, I kind of want to just play a video. Are you Star Wars fans by chance? Do you like do you like
at least one Star Wars fan? We're seeing like one person on the show that was like, I'm not really a Star Wars fan. Like, this show's pretty much over.
I've never watched a Star Wars movie, unfortunately. So
Rob, what?
My house is full of stuff like this.
Okay,
everywhere.
all right. So I think Fernando makes up for I find your lack of interest disturbing.
So I mean, we're gonna dive into SkullClub and what you guys are doing, but like, imagine the SkullClub version of this in the Uplift world, because like, that's what I want to flip and create.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. And you know, the SkullClub NFT would fit awesome with you know, since it's what's it called? What's the type of the art? Fucking
Pixelated.
Pixelated. There you go.
Pixelated art.
Yeah.
So actually,
go ahead.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I sent you a Telegram message that explains. My apologies for hijacking you today. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. But you like totally right. Like there's some really interesting dynamics. And what I just wanted to say was we're going to be publishing an article from a community member that comes out probably in the next day or two, who went through the process. He put an article on PD about how to optimize your images that go up in the uplift world, which is really exciting, right? Like he's figured out a way to like incorporate into your normal photo editors the picture color palette of Minecraft, so that like you get all of those colors in real world images, right? But the one thing that I want to say to you is one thing that's really big in the crypto space right now is pixel art, right? Like the pixel art is huge, right? Like it's bigger than Tetris, really. Tetris is at its peak, right? And that actually fits perfectly into the uplift in two ways. Way number one is you can obviously, you know, take a screenshot and burn some upliftium and throw it up there in the world. But way number two, which comes from us, you know, from the Theta community, our good friend, Darkness Rising, he actually created a whole pixel art version, block by block, of art that he had created on the blockchain, which is really interesting. So you could have a pixelated pixel art gallery that was created block by block, and inside pixel art displayed. I'm getting really too excited, so I'm just going to shut up now.
It's pixel on pixel on pixel, basically, is what we're saying. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So we'll have to do some gratitudes at some point, but I want to know about SkullClub. Like, what is SkullClub? What are you guys doing? How are you plugged into the Solana ecosystem, and how are you like going to make the world a better place because of it?
I think it's community, right? Go ahead. I just want to say SkullClub is all about community. So go Rob.
Yeah, as cliche as that may sound, you know, community is a keyword that's used in marketing all over the world, right? It's like a hot topic. People like the word because it's positive, but we look past that cliche. And how do you actually be a true community-driven project? And how do you prove that you've actually got the community at the heart of every single decision that you make? Rather than just say we're a community-based project, you have to follow that through with actions, right? And I genuinely believe that everything we do follows through with that. So the significant majority of any revenue that we bring in is given back to holders. So that's via our weekly reward events, which we do live on camera for transparency and just to keep it a bit more fun as well. So I'll be on camera on a weekend every single week, popping balloons and giving out prizes to people. It's just really good fun and a bit more relaxed, a little bit less serious than a lot of other projects. But at the same time, we have got serious utility there as well. We have staking live, which we are very fortunate to be close friends with the Wastelanders, which is another fantastic NFT project that you should check out. They are phenomenal. So we utilize their staking platform, and we earn wasted tokens for staking our skulls, which can be used for raffles and auctions. And that's cost us nothing because we're very close to the guys over at Wastelanders. So that's utility that our community hasn't effectively had to pay for, because everything then goes into the reward program so they can be rewarded with Solana and NFTs. And it's pretty much just a case of we bring X amount of money in and it pretty much all goes back to the community. But then
I'm pretty sure if you guys watch this back later that this next comment is going to be completely off base, but I just need to say it. You heard it here first. Wasteland tokens will cost you nothing. If you tune into these guys' live shows, then you get some for free. Now, Corey, I think that maybe you should appear on one of these live shows and throw out some shards, by the way.
Like some of that.
I mean, by all means, threaten me with a good time.
Consider yourself threatened.
Absolutely. But kind of on top of the reward program and looking past that, you know, because it's all great having things back, but another thing that's of vital importance, I think, in the NFT space at the moment, and perhaps something that's not really quite focused on enough is genuine transparency and in keeping your community fully up to date with every single change that happens. If you look through our announcements channel within our server, you get bored very quickly because I type out so much, but that's because we want to genuinely get across as much information as we can. Even if there's a tiny tweak that we're making to the way that things are going to go, or an enhancement we're making to a roadmap, we'll announce it immediately. So everyone knows everything that goes on behind the scenes at SkullClub. It genuinely is a true community-focused project, but with real utility there to back it up. And we have
I mean, I reckon there's two types of projects in this space. And I'd like to think that the good guys are winning, right? But there's a lot of community-focused projects in this space. I mean, you know, the Uplift is one. You guys sound like you're working on it as well. And they're actually trying to build community through transparency. And then there's, you know, projects in the space that are skirting regulations in the real world because they can. And where we come across, where we come out the other side of this whole fucking experiment that we're in, right? Because we don't really know how it's going to end, but we know what we like about it, is if we can amplify and take that to the real world, right? Like it's not the big losses that are going to kill us. What's going to save us is the ability for NFT creators in Africa to get the same money as NFT creators in America, right? But it doesn't matter whether it's $5 or whether it's $100 or whether it's $1,000, but that doesn't work. Right now, you walk into a supermarket or you know, a shop in America and you buy something, you know, off the shelf that is art that was created in Africa, where those people get nothing, right? Right now, you walk into a music studio and you have to essentially sleep outside for 3 or 4 weeks to be able to get your CD actually heard, right? And so I think this is, for me, the really strong point. And this is kind of why I wanted to meet you, right? It's because TinyMrsB and Framed Games, you know, when we had them on the show, they were raving about the community that you guys created, right? They basically said that this is the whole reason that they're in the Solana space, right? Like, it's because of people like you that actually got them involved and got them here, right? They rave about the Uplift too, just, you know, to
they
point
do.
that
they
out.
do.
But
I've heard a lot about you from them, from her actually.
But yeah, like I'm just like, I'm excited to meet people who think the same way. Like, community, you know, Corey, fucking get into world, goddammit. Community is power, right? Like this is one of the things that we've really learned. And like, yeah, don't worry, Corey has all the power, not me. But I like to yell at him on screen. Like, I'm like the little chihuahua that's sitting beside the boxer that's barking like really loud, and the boxer thinks that, like, you know, he's the size of the chihuahua because the mirror is like
chihuahuas are genuinely insane.
Yes.
And I definitely don't think you're that. More like if I was a golden retriever or something, or like a lab, kind of adorable but big and dumb, you'd kind of be like the super high speed collie. That it was like the, you know, slightly smaller but way faster and you know, could race a rocket.
So we're in
this analogy got weird fast.
Yeah,
you're definitely not Chihuahua.
We're in a full-fledged bear, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna hijack the show for a minute, but we're in a full-fledged bear. Corey and I started the show about 1.5 years ago, when EOS was completely fucked. And we got online and we did this show
completely fucked now, but we weren't optimistic back then.
We did the show called eosioweeklyt, and we're going to be publishing an NFT line that throws back to those shows. And I didn't really understand Corey's comment, but if I understand it correctly, we're going to throw some on EOS, we're going to throw some on Solana, we're going to throw some on multiple blockchains so that people can, you know, have a history of that community, right? Because that community is power, and you know, yeah.
Dow's going to vote where we go. I would be shocked if there was enough interest in EOS for us to get there this year.
I think EOS is probably going to be one of the last chains that we actually make it to. And I like EOS. So I work for a block producer, right? But like Solana, like there's people over there that are building shit, right? Like fucking vote Solana, right? You know.
Yeah, there's got to be enough projects on there so that we could kind of build in enough interest and demand, right? Now, granted, like if we got a Pomelo grant for a couple $100,000, you know, we could probably launch a like a little world over there just to say we were over there, but it would probably take something like that. All right, you guys. Oh, hey, I forgot the other comments over here. Hey, awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, Andre's making comments about my awesome Ethereum shirt. I have a little bit of a theme going on right now. Anyway, yeah, so I told in Discord, Jimmy, I told everybody I was they asked me to name drop some of the projects that are gonna be in Ethereum. So I told them like the first ever art project on NFT project on Ethereum ever is gonna have a museum. My Curio Cards is gonna be building one. We've got Meta Art Club that is going to be building. They're currently on the front page of OpenSea. They're kind of a big new art deal on the scene. And yeah, my gratitude is going to be for the project that I'm having a meeting with on Friday that apparently is, and I quote, very interested in building an embassy. And when I heard about this one, I legitimately peed myself. So yeah, so Rob, what are you grateful for right now? We'll get you up on the board.
What should we say right now?
Yeah, and try to keep it short because I got to put it on a sign. But that's what these are. So just I keep forgetting that
Yeah, right. Like
first
give
time
a fucking proper introduction.
I know, right? Sorry. So like the whole thing with the uplift, and again, like it's massive, right? This is one map. This is Genesis. It goes basically in 2.5 kilometers in every direction from where we're standing. There's builds all over the place. We'll send you the world maps thing so you can look at it. We've got live world maps so you can kind of have the satellite view of what everyone's building. It's fucking bananas. We've been in here for a year and it's like turning into kind of a cityscape very, very quickly. But one thing we've been doing since the beginning is piling wood on top of wood, and then we'll put signs up and just have a practice where we say what we're grateful for. Anyway, so yeah, this entire building is just that. Every time we do this show, people put up gratitudes, and for context, I mean, there's a lot of freaking gratitudes.
For context, like I'm gonna go first. I'm grateful for TinyMrsB and Framed Games.
Hell yeah,
and SkullClub. I mean, they introduced us, and man, Corey and I have been doing this for a while, and I get these feelings, and it's interesting because like we've only been on this show for I don't know 24 minutes, and I already see you coming back like on a regular basis. Like, oh yeah, I'm so intrigued, and you guys are so quiet. Like, just the fact that like you're building a community speaks to me.
Yep.
Because that's the whole fucking reason like we're here, Corey, you and me.
Yep. It's the foundation of everything we're doing for sure. Sorry, Rob, go ahead. Again, could be big, little, doesn't matter. But
I would like to say, can I say I'm grateful for our mod team?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
because they have been, and we try and say it enough, but our moderation team are incredible. They work unbelievably hard. Jazz, Risha, Roberta, Marguti. I won't make you list all the names, but these guys are amazing people, and we would not be here without them. Tutorial and I, so Fernando and I work probably 16 hours a day, but these guys are here not much less than us. So yeah, I'm so grateful for them, and I see a couple of them are here watching us at the moment. So yeah, guys, you are the best, and there's no way that SkullClub would be successful without you. You guys are everything. So yeah, thank you.
I would also like to talk about a little bit of my inspiration. I think it's the same as Rob's, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, of course.
They're not paying me for this, but I'm going to do it anyway because, I'm eternally grateful for them. Wolf, it's a meme coin where we started. And that's where I learned what crypto was all about. And it was, like we said, community. And when I saw this community being so active, being so friendly, being so familiar, I said, man, why was I not here before? I mean, it was incredible. And I said, bro, I can do this forever. This is me in a nutshell. In real life, what I like to do is go out drinking with my friends and just talk and talk about everything, about problems, about the good stuff. And I said, man, this is I'm a natural. And then I start seeing all the rugs happening in Solana, and I'm like, why is this happening? Why are people investing so much on projects that are eventually going to rug, or are going to rug instantly after mint? And I said, I'm community focused. I am serious. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. And Rob and I, we went as far as to getting a service where we doxed to them in case we ever rugged. They could share our informations to Interpol. You know,
I love the fact that like I don't know. I love and hate the fact that I don't know about any rug pulls in Solana. Actually, so the fact that you brought that up is actually quite brilliant.
There was a time where you would see $1 million rugs to a week, even to a day.
So what's going on with
happens.
this, right? Like, is it just like they do a mint and they just like shut the Discord server down
and dip? They just leave.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so they'll either just rug it straight up, and they'll close the Discord, they'll close the Twitter, and you'll never see them again, or you will, but under a different username, I guess. Or they'll do it slowly. But yeah, like fast rugs, they still happen, of course, and they're happening all the time. But there was a period of like a couple of months where they were just so prevalent; they were everywhere. But I guess now with doxing services and things, they are becoming a little bit more scarce, but it's still a massive problem.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like the biggest fast rug was probably BitConnect. The biggest slow rug was probably Block One.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna fucking say it. Right?
Yeah.
Like people are already comparing what's happening in Terra, to a rug, but it's fascinating to me because like what happened in Terra. And I'm gonna keep coming back to this because I'm fucking burning in the flames. But like what's happening in Terra really
it's that kind of day, dude. Like it's
like it really speaks to me, right? Because you have retail who bought into an ideology that basically got fucked because somebody found honestly it could be potentially evil, but there was a loophole in the system. There was a way to exploit the system, right? And like when people who have enough power and money to be able to exploit the system can do it, they will always do it. But what I love about crypto, honestly, is like there's a lot of people in crypto who fucking hate NFTs, right? Because they think DeFi is the way. But what I love about crypto is the fact that NFTs can potentially create a community that you would never have beyond your small town, right? Like I come from a town of 2,500 people. Now it's 5,000 people, right? Like I come from a town where houses used to be like, $80,000 to $100,000. And because of inflation, now they're like, $750,000, right? And nobody fucking supports artists in those towns. Nobody supports people who are trying to do what they want to do to make a living in those towns. There's no flipping community when it comes to anything beyond making money or business or surviving. That said, I kind of want to go back there and work a menial job just to connect with people because I don't get to do that in real life anymore. But the closest thing that I actually get to do in Japan is connect with people who are building communities, right? That's the whole reason I met Corey. That's the whole reason that we were introduced to you. It's like these are the types of people and projects that we kind of want to support. And so I think when we get into this rug pull ideology, right? When we get into these people who are capitalizing upon it, this is where NFTs really get interesting to me, right? And so I want to know if there's a way that communities can survive in the grand scheme of things through the ability to connect and build things over time and bring other people into the ecosystem or into that certain blockchain that might be a little bit scared and worried. Sorry, I kind of went on a little bit of rant there, but I'm really that's what I do, right? That's why I'm here. But I'm really interested in this, right? I'm really interested in the fact that you guys built a community out of nothing.
We're still building it.
you're still building it, right? But you built a community out of nothing, and you're being very transparent about your whole ideology, about why you want to bring people into this ecosystem, why you want to support them, and how that benefits them as individuals, right? And I'm like we haven't even dived into SkullClub, right? Like we haven't even gotten over to that thing, right? But like it's so important to know who's running projects, right? Like I mean, speaking of rug pulls, I mean, what would have happened if the Uplift would have died? Where would Jimmy D and Corey's reputation have been then? Just saying.
It would have been fine for sure.
What we're doing here, showing our faces, this is not a regular thing. I mean,
yeah, for us, it's always been the thing. Like when I started finding out how many people were doing anonymous projects, I'm like, well, that's interesting. Like we've always just been like, this is us. We're gonna do some stuff, and again, we're gonna take responsibility if it doesn't work, and not everything we do does work, right? And we do our best to fix everything, and we keep iterating and keep moving it forward. Yeah. But yeah, like we don't even. I think the only undoxed team that we've talked to is Crystal.finance, and they're running like legit DeFi, and I kind of get why, they're doing it anonymously. But yeah, I don't think I would ever want to talk to an NFT project that was trying to be coy now, right? It's just there's too much risk. There's no point, right? You're either going to be doing this, actually as a real person, owning it, right, and owning the ramifications of it, whichever way it goes, right. And then we want to also give people the grace to fail. That is a thing that's allowed. You're allowed to do that, right? If you fail, it's not a rug. Like this is a startup industry, right? 99% of these startups are gonna fucking fail. Like that's not a weird thing. That's a normal thing. I guarantee you 99% of startups fucking fail. That's not a rug, right? Now, granted, they do a sale and then fucking disappear 5 seconds later. That's a rug.
That's a rug.
Oh my God.
Right. I see NFTs like a normal company. What I did before even getting into crypto was, or I still do it. I like to own companies. I like to start companies. Some of them have failed. Some of them are still good. And what I like about NFTs is the utility. That's how I got into them. I've seen NFTs in Ethereum that have no utility at all. What I like about NFTs now, like I said, is utility. The utility behind it. What you're going to do with the money that I'm giving you is it not something that it's only hype. If not, it's something that you're going to build. I'm investing. I'm like having shares in this company. There are some people that like to flip, but how I like to do it is, long term. I like to hold. I like to see what's going to happen. So I need to know who's behind these. If these people are going to rug or even if they're capable of running what they put on the roadmap.
Have you ever seen a dog with a really itchy ass walk backwards on a rug? I know you
on a rug that's like with the legs,
yeah. I mean, it's interesting you say that, right? Like if you're in the crypto space and you've built a company that hasn't failed, you're probably gonna fail. And if you don't get the fuck back up and keep going, then you're not a person that needs to be followed, right? And I really like the fact that you acknowledge that, right? Like you people who are in this space that are making a difference are building multiple, projects that are failures. I mean, can you guys believe it? Like I had a fashion company at one time that kind of failed. I was making women's skirts and I'd still have a bunch in my closet and they're pretty fucking awesome. It wasn't necessarily me, but it was either that failed or my relationship failed because I'm a determinate little asshole when it comes to business. But and I'm not always the best person, but yeah, I mean, it's I mean, this is you guys. You guys are the SkullClub, the most transparent project on the Solana ecosystem. And I mean, we've been talking, about this a little bit, but the fact that you actually have that on your website, the most transparent project on the Solana ecosystem, you're out there with your faces. Tell us about this a little bit more, because I think it's a really interesting thing to highlight in big, bold fucking letters on your website, especially when you're a community-oriented project, right?
Yeah, this effectively is our core pillar, our ideology. for everything that we build, it's all focused around this one particular ideology, transparency. And when we, at the inception of the project, that was how we set out. It was like, all right, anything we do from now has to be transparent. So right from the beginning, that was the first thing we knew we could put on the site because everything's built around it. So as I mentioned earlier, right from the start, we've been very open with any changes and our plans overall. We also shared the information for our long-term ambitions as well, which a lot of NFT projects, they kind of focus on their first generation and then they'll get that over and done with. They'll take people's money and they'll implement what they want to, and then they might start revealing information for the second generation. Whereas what we've done is we've said, here's our plans, Gen 1 and Gen 2. The long-term aim is a premium play-to-earn game, which is actually already in development now. And a lot of people initially, they were like, oh, well, where's the game? So most projects wouldn't even tell you about this game. They tell you that further on down the line. But what we're doing now is we're telling you about this upfront, right from day one, that is our long-term ambition. So we're really pleased to say that we have started developing the game. We're using Unreal Engine, so it's going to look awesome. And it's still here. Oh yeah, it's just Mike.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. And we even went to a point when we first started up, actually, of it's still on our YouTube channel. You can go and see it. We presented a slideshow presentation which outlines the budget down to the very last soul. We said, this is how much we're going to earn. This is how much goes back to the community. This is how much the team gets. And this is how many royalties the community is going to get. Right down to the very last soul. There've been a couple of tweaks to the budget just so we could extend the rewards program by a few more weeks. But yeah, right from day one, we told everyone everything. That's transparency. And anything less than that, I think is not transparent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like people who hide in the background. I mean, Corey and I went through some stuff with our team that we weren't allowed to say because it would get us into trouble, but like we are porting towards a DAO for the simple reason that we can be transparent. We can show everyone what we want to do, right? Like, and I mean, we've talked about government on the show a little bit, right? And my whole idea of government, I think blockchain government would be great actually, because like I would love to see, accountability, right? And I think like accountability with transparency is the key to actually organizing ourselves in a way that makes blockchain a trust. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but like a trustless system, right? That you don't have to like put your blind faith into, right? And I think that's maybe where we're headed. We're not going to be there tomorrow or the next day. And it's going to take us a long time to get there. But I think that like this whole idea of like, I'll be 100% honest with you. Like the current state of a blockchain system and my goodwill towards it has faltered a lot in the last 6 months, right? Like this isn't the perfect system to fix it all, right? But if we can figure out a way to make it so that, like, Corey had a really good rant the other day, right? Like on our show a couple of days ago, you kind of threw it in there about the whole fact that like, eventually, people are going to cry for the regulators to come in and then they're going to regulate it and that kind of stuff. I'm watching some
of those people now. Like if I see anyone in a crypto thread go, look, oh, we should talk to the SEC. That person's dead to me forever. Like way to just like piss right into the wind onto your own face, you fucking clown. Like it's amazing, right? Like if this is the SEC, nobody who has less than $250,000 would be allowed to do anything. Right? Like the only chance I as a musician ever had to become financially independent at all was in this industry, right? Wasn't going to happen for me otherwise. And if anyone calling for the SEC for real, they would automatically make it so that I would have absolutely no chance. And again, 99% of the people in this space wouldn't either.
Well,
So,
it would be the music industry
Rant
all
over.
over. No, but I mean, it would be the music industry all over for you, right? Like you had no chance in the music industry because you needed to show up in New York and you needed to meet somebody like Yoshi, which you couldn't do unless you were in the crypto space, right?
Like even the people that are like, I honestly believe they genuinely believe they're trying to make a better experience for musicians. That industry is so garbage, they still won't be able to do it.
You're
like
right.
any intersection with the old music industry at all, you have to get to like a massive level to do anything, and you have to love fame over money, because chances are you're only going to make fame, and only for a little while Warner owns everything in your life.
Right, and
like, that's what happens to most musicians.
It's American Idol all over again in an unregulated space, right? But like calling for regulation isn't the way to fix it. The way to fix it is to fucking build communities, right? Like communities that care, communities that matter, communities that like support you, right? And so, yeah, like I like the fact that like you guys put that on your website. So I kind of wanted to ask you. I'm really glad I'm here for this. By the way, I might be the only one because like it's 2 a.m. and I'm a little bit.
No, I'm glad
into this like Kanoka stuff.
There it is. Yeah, he's got these little milk cartons of Happy Daddy juice, like this. The kind of stuff you'd be drinking at 2 a.m.
But like I do actually have a game plan. It takes me a while to get to it. So what does transparency, like you kind of explained how you're transparent, but like what does transparency mean to you? In terms of going forward with building up this project, right? Like I think Rob, you said you've built multiple companies, you've been involved with multiple projects. How does like blockchain and transparency work towards the goal that you guys are trying to achieve with the people that you're working with, which is like artists and things like that?
It's Fernando that's had.
Sorry, Fernando. I got confused because like he just disappeared. He left, and like we thought he was gone, and then he came back. And
no, I have the closet right behind me, so my wife had to come in. I had to.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll let you. I mean, I've kind of sort of said my bit on that. But Fernando, if you want to, if you've got anything to sort of add to that in regards to how we're going to be transparent going forward.
Well, we want people to trust us, so we're going to do everything possible for, to get people to trust us. That's why from the beginning, we, like I said before, we doxed ourselves to the community. In the website you have there, you can actually see our socials, LinkedIn, our personal Twitter, so you can even see my Instagram. That's my personal stuff. And yeah, it's all about trust. So I don't know if you want to, Rob, talk about what transparency means to us, because we do talk about every little thing that we are gonna do. We don't discuss everything with the community. That's why we have a team. But then,
well, actually, that's kind of what I'm interested in this, right? Because like Corey and I and our team have been kind of like pondering this. Like, there's certain things that we can never tell. Hi. there's certain things that we can never really tell the community, right? Like the way that the Uplift works is we're a play to something. We're a play to something. We're a play to something metaverse. It might be earn. It might be earn to play. I don't really know. We're working through this. This is a big discussion that we have in the back end, but we're never going to be transparent about how people can get rewards, because they're going to game the fucking system, right? So we're going to have like this like little thing, right? Like, but there's certain
that's
things.
Gonna be the only committee that does anything secretly, basically.
Right.
It's just because like it's the perfect anti-botting thing. The only thing that you can do to optimize how much you earn in our game is to just play and have fun, right? Like that's why we kind of make it randomized and make it so you don't actually know what it is. Yeah. Because we don't like it. Like we told everyone, hey, you get this amount for traveling the first one, and so people just went up and down the rails for 24 hours a day, and then they created bots to do it, and that's just like not the value that we're trying to express, right? We want people to be in there and meeting people and having a good time and exploring and doing this in a community sense, not just like AFKing their fucking keyboard. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, that's super dumb.
Right? Yeah, we don't want it. Like, we don't want an ecosystem that's extractive, right? Like, we want an ecosystem that rewards the people who are an active part of it. And like, this is kind of what Corey came to. So I'm like kind of curious about because like, again, right in the very center of your of your webpage, like the biggest thing that pops out when people go to SkullClub is like transparency. This is who we are. This is what we do. Where do you where do you define what you're transparent about and what you're not? Because like, I think like this is, Corey, maybe something that we talk about in the background a lot, right? Especially porting towards the DAO. It's really hard to understand when your community is power in this space, where to be transparent and where to not. And like, I'm kind of curious on your take on that, if I'm 100% honest.
For us, the only thing that I mean, obviously within our Discord server, we have a team chat where we discuss plans with our team before rolling things out. Naturally, you have to. So there are things that we have in the pipeline or that we discuss that the community aren't directly involved in that conversation, because otherwise you've got literally thousands of people all interjecting at once, and there has to be some level of authority for any business. And if we take the NFT project as just any other business, right? So yes, there is some talk in the background before things are rolled out, but other than that, it's all there out in the open. So that's really the only answer I can give you. It's just releasing all information as soon as you possibly can. Yes, there's things in the pipeline, but other than that, the community knows everything that's going on.
Yeah, we're transparent with what we're gonna do with the funds. We I think that's the most important part, that we're not gonna, that we're gonna do what we said we were gonna do with the funds that you're, that's coming from the minting proceeds. That's how we are transparent. Like Rob said, there has to be discussions, in the background, and you can't have everyone involved, because then it's going to be a project, it's going to be all over the place. One wants this, the other one wants another thing. We give you, and you decide. We give you what the project is all about, and then you decide if you want to invest or not. That's how we're transparent.
Do you guys have like critics?
It's a little bit different, from you guys.
Do you guys have critics? I'm kind of curious about this, right?
I feel like you guys are almost too new to have that yet.
Yeah, I kind of want to know.
If this is your honeymoon phase, like, just like ignore Jimmy. Just fucking live in this beautiful honeymoon phase of awesome.
No, I want you to take Corey's advice, but I also want to know, because that's a really good point, right? Like, this is your choice to invest, but like, God damn it, I don't want to say this because I'm going to get ourselves into trouble, but I guarantee you that when we port over to a DAO, people are going to come whining and complaining because they didn't get their way for the team to override the rest of the fucking community because we have the tokens.
Well, this is the thing, like,
right? And it's fucking bullshit,
never,
really,
and Jimmy,
right?
we should probably let our guests talk at some point. But like, we're almost never going to vote against the community. That's the point, right? And if we do, we're going to justify it fully. That's going to be my job, right? Like, as the biggest DAO token holder, because of course I spent millions of dollars worth of stuff buying this fucking company. Go fuck yourself if you don't like it, right? Like, I'm gonna have an outside say, but I don't want to use it. The whole point is to create consensus and be voting along those lines. So anyway, Fernando, go ahead, and I'll mute Jimmy if he fucking says anything else.
I'm just gonna go.
Love you.
Man, I'm sorry.
For the record, he didn't leave. He's just being dramatic.
Yeah. No worries. I forgot what I was gonna say, man. I'm sorry.
The freaking rant. Rob, were you gonna say something? Well, we were talking about we've obviously had a little bit of trauma, like going through what we've just gone through, right? Like the parent company. We can't talk about it. It got very complicated very quickly, and we got to this point where we managed to get the company back, and we're turning it into a DAO. But there was a lot of FUD around there that we had to combat. So have you guys seen any of that? As early as you guys are?
It's inevitable. No matter where you are, you're always going to have a FUD. And we've had a lot of naysayers. The way you get more people in when you're doing it like we are, which is all organic growth, is via doing collaborations with other projects. These projects don't believe in you. Most of them. I have a little black book right inside my head where I'm saying I'm going to prove you wrong, and that's exactly what we're doing. Right. And we're here to stay, and it's all positive. I get I get people, you know, that just don't believe in us. It's like, all right, that's totally your choice, but you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to prove you wrong, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, the NFT space is at the moment, people like to rely on 5 minutes of hype, right? So, you know, projects will pay a silly amount of money for marketers, shillers, influencers to post about them on Twitter. So they grow their Discord to 20,000 members in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we've never paid a penny for marketing, and we never will, because what you're bringing in there, yes, you know what, you're going to bring in 5 minutes of hype, and it's going to be crazy. You're going to sell out in 10 seconds, and it's going to be amazing. You're going to make loads of money. And then do you know what's going to happen? You're on the pile with 99% of other projects that everyone's forgotten about in 10 minutes. And we are not going to be one of those projects. So yes, we've built very, very slowly. We're about 2,000 Discord members, and we first opened our early access mint sale on the 25th of March. So it's taken a long time to get here.
That's actually that's not bad, right? Like the first, was it, Jimmy, the first probably 5 months, maybe 4 that we had the Uplift Telegram open, we got to 5,000, and I thought that was fucking fantastic. It was, frankly, like it was really good. But they were all real, right? Because we was in the same way. Like I think we marketed one sale, we did an ad on Crypto Slam once, but that's all we've ever done. Right. Other than that, it's just all been organic, and it makes so much more sense for like all the reasons you guys are saying. Like the you're already going to get into the point where, you know, some people might think you're not growing fast enough, or number doesn't go up either way they want, or fucking whatever it is, right? And that's fine. Some of those people are gonna come and go. But like the core group that we have left right now are like diehard ride or die. Like most of them are gonna be here in 3 years. And that, like, having this DAO transition, and we're giving, you know, 25% of the DAO tokens away to people that hold land, and people are using the ecosystem. And I couldn't be more happy about the way that the timing of that, right, Jimmy? Because like, it just, the people that are here now are just, you know, they're the cream of the crop. They stuck with us, frankly.
Well, and like I'm sure that you guys have stories as well about, like, you know, influencers hitting you up and like wanting to promote you and take you to the moon and stuff, right? Like, so I'm gonna not be that influencer, but I'm gonna do better. So what I'm going to say is, like, we don't have a fucking Solana world. We don't have a gallery for you right now because we're not plugged into that system.
Chris has been blowing me up in DMs about an idea that she has for these guys, because she likes to do. Chris Tuttle is basically like, you know, our you know, organizing slash like kind of operations superstar. I don't know. We don't know a good title for her right now.
No,
our entire team building for Gratitudes is called Tuttle Tower. So if that kind of lets you know who she is, but she's got an idea what we might be able to do with you guys a little bit sooner. So I want to talk to you guys after about that. But
that's really cool. Her idea is a lot more interesting than mine, probably. But my idea is, like, I just really like the fact that, like, everything that you guys stand for is something that, you know, Corey and I and the rest of the team, Chris as well, are like really truly here to believe in. So if there's any way that we can put together, so Corey's a little bit weird, and this is why I love him. But one day we were joking around on stream, and I think he made a joke, and he said, like, what if we called our website Where We Hide All The Alpha.com? And I'm like, I love it. And then he came back like 2 minutes later and is like, you know, this is our website now. This is where all of our articles on the Uplift go. And I would love to have a post, you know, from your community on there. You know, promoting what you do.
When your sales start going on again or whatever, and you want another publication to announce it on, just like write up a quick blurb, get, you know, some pictures together, fire it to Jimmy, and we'll throw it up on the blog.
Yeah, like, you guys can write it, or we can like promote it, or we can copy and paste something that you guys already have. But like, I want our community plugged into what you guys are doing. You know, Framed Games and Miss TinyMrsB, they've got some of your assets, I think, up in one of their galleries, right? Like, and
I've seen it.
I just want to promote people like you who are here for the space, that aren't paying promoters, that aren't doing this, like, you know, jump and run, that are doing these good things. So, you know, I think that you guys are really rocking it with the whole community aspect, and this is what we want to support. So give us something to support. You know, tell us where you're headed next. What are you guys doing? What are you guys building? This very small town community of 2,500 people that's growing to 5,000 next year because, you know, the Campbell Soups company is opening up next door. It's my hometown, by the way, Letterkenny. But go ahead.
Rob, you wanna?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, we are still going through our minting season. So, on the 25th of March, when we opened the mint initially, we sold about 12 to 1300, and then we closed the mint. So by closing the mint, it allowed us to then focus the time to nurture the community members that we had got at that stage and gradually roll out the rewards program. So we thank them for being with us. And then we slowly build the community a little bit more, all while spending a lot of time to really dedicate to the community members and prove to them that they genuinely are our number one concern. And I think we've got to the point where we have done that. We have got that really diehard core group of community members, which is exactly what we wanted. By the way, we've made some. I've launched Roadmap 2.0, which is on our Discord server. We are going to be slightly upgrading the website just to include new info over the next couple of days. So that's going to slightly change. So we have got our next mint window, which is tomorrow, which we're launching 500, and then we'll only have 666 remaining, which will launch next Friday. There's our rarity chart there, so you can see all the traits.
There's actually a mini game you can play there, actually.
Yeah, you can play our mini game right now if you want to. So if you go back to the homepage.
All right, yeah, let's do that. Totally, let's do that.
So menu button, top right menu button.
Top right.
Got it.
So this is just a small mini game we just added. You've got game on there. You've probably all played Tappy Skull, right? Sorry, Tappy Bird. Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
So we changed
Flappy
it to
Bird.
Tappy Skull. Just put in your Discord name and a wallet address, or just some random. It hasn't got to be exact in there. As long as it's filled out, it should be fine.
Really? Like I don't have to put because I honestly don't know my Discord.
No, you should be okay. I don't think you need to put in the full wallet address.
If you get more than 619, probably you'll need it. I don't think you're going to do that right now.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So this is just something small. So our actual
why is my game over? What is happening?
Are you tapping?
You have to tap.
You got to tap to keep it flying, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
There it
Okay.
is.
Oh, no.
And
I see.
okay,
All right.
yeah, we're learning.
Jesus, I suck at this
It's
game.
that super like jumpy bird game, but for a skull.
Yeah.
This will
we-
still
like
for sure.
Corey's like way better at this. I can almost guarantee
I don't know
it
if
now.
that's true. I think that's a pretty good.
This is really hard. Like
I
you
hate
guys
this
should go
game.
plug into this.
I personally
like,
hate this
I kind of really hate it too. Like I used to like you guys, but this fucking sucks, man.
It's just a little taste. You get rewards. You get soul out of it. You know, depends on what we put in it.
Jesus
week.
Christ.
You know.
So the highest score we've had is 1,485, which we verified it's legit.
Okay, seriously, everyone freaking go and do this because this is like hard as hell. Actually. Like it's really, I like it. I'm addicted already. Like
this was
when I first met Corey. We were kind of not friends because like he was too cool for me. And
that
he was over.
Never been true, dude.
Like he was over.
You were super famous in this space before we met, so
right?
Like, if you felt that
Corey,
way, that was
Corey was over. Like Corey was over in the Proton ecosystem, and he was playing poker over in the Proton thing, and I kind of got into that, and like, dude, I'm seriously gonna be stuck on this game for the next 24 hours. Like I'm fucked.
so much for sleep.
This is not gonna be good. I like it. So Tappy Skull.
Yeah, so this game was just something that we actually added to the roadmap quite far in. We had the time to do it, so let's just make a quick game.
And people get people get paid in Solana.
Or NFTs, or even keychains that we've made.
That's cool.
I don't
Right?
know.
Yeah,
That's what it's in. So we have keychains here. So that we have like these 3D printed skulls, which are these are our NFTs, right?
But that's huge. There you go.
So that was the template one. The actual keychains are like these. So we send these out to people when they have a certain amount of skulls. It's just another small little thing that we do for people.
Oh yeah, it's. We also have to mention that the Tappy Skull rewards are for holders, so you have to hold a skull. at least.
Obviously.
So how do
you gotta be in the club.
Like I don't got a skull, and this is the other thing that
I don't either yet. We're gonna need some.
Like I'm in the business today of
We'll
asking people for fucking favors, like to be able to like this is what I want to do, right? But like the other thing that I want from you, like I guess Phantom Wallet is the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like in Solana. So I want if you guys could give me a little bit of a blurb and a DM about your project, then like maybe we can plug it into an article that I'm working on Phantom Wallet. Like I'm working on how people can get connected, but like I'd like to know how people can get connected to this game and to this ecosystem, because people can actually earn soul out of it. And to go back to what I was saying with Corey, right? Like there were people that were in like third world countries that were earning like livable wages in those early days of Proton, right? And it's potentially possible with things like this, right?
Yeah. I'm in a third world country, so I know all about it.
Okay. If you want to expand on that, that's super interesting, actually.
So I live in Dominican Republic, so yeah, considered a third world country. Pretty poor. I've been lucky. I've had good education, so I'm doing this. You know, done a lot of other things, but yeah, enough of me. Just
Fair
enough. I want like an hour more, but okay, I'll give you
that. Yeah, I gotta go meet TC. We're actually gonna start. We're gonna break ground on the Meta Art Club gallery. That's the team that's on the front page of OpenSea right now. That's coming in to build an art gallery in the new Ethereum apps. And so Chris has been chatting the off air. Anyway, I was gonna chat with you guys off air, but like fuck that shit. We'll just talk about it now because I gotta go. There's ways that. I should probably read exactly what you said because I've been multitasking too much while trying to have this started, which is what I do a lot.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what Chris said about this. Basically, there's a way if you guys want. I know you guys are on Solana, but like once you get in world, it doesn't matter, right? There's a way for us to track activity that goes on. On your plot that will actually be able to track back to people's Solana wallets. Hopefully, I'm not butchering this. Long story short, if you guys want a gallery in one of the new Ethereum worlds, we can make an exception to get you guys in there.
Well, and I was like, that's a better idea than mine, because I was going to suggest maybe we just build this tower from the base of the server to the top of the server, and people that we love like this, we just give them a fucking floor and we put all of their art up there.
I mean, we could do that, but I think I'm sensing, and so is Chris, and if Chris is getting that vibe, then it's something we have to act on. And again, you guys could say no, but I think it would be really cool if you did. So basically,
for sure, man.
All right, yeah,
Amazing.
we'll get you guys passports. You'll need wax wallets to hold them because that's the only way you can verify to get in world. And then I'll pick a spot out for you guys, and we can get you in there and building. And what I would recommend is the thing that communities have the most fun with is just go to your community and see if there's any Minecraft builders that could come in and build you like an awesome gallery. And of course, we put high def pictures in, right? So we can do that for you. But if there is none, we've got a community builders that can come in and team up with you and do it that way. But it's just so much more fun. Like my Curio Cards, my buddy Max is one of the artists that founded that, right? And my Curio Cards is like the first NFT art collective on Ethereum, so they're like a historic big deal.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like Framed Games, like they built a freaking lighthouse in a day.
Dude, it's amazing, right? Like you can stand something up that's a really cool place to meet,
right?
And then we host events and like do like whitelisting, punch sign things. Like there's just tons of shit that we're gonna be able to do, for communities and stuff. But Jimmy, I don't know if I told you this. So Max went to my Curio Cards and said, hey, to their Discord, like, hey, we got this piece of land. We're going to build a museum finally. It's going to be cool, blah, blah, blah. Anyone interested in building? And one of the founders is like a Minecraft super nerd. And he had no idea. Right? So like one of the founders of my Curio Cards is coming in building with some fucking fire. Like super stoked. So that just was like, oh.
Corey, I'm on a mission to make this channel obsolete.
That's weird, but okay.
Yeah, because like the thing that really speaks to me right now, especially like if we're headed into the bear, is when projects like these guys have a gallery in the uplift and they can go in and hang out with people on a different vocal platform and give tours of what they do. And
Yeah,
where
I
this
think
gets
in
really
Twitter
exciting
Spaces-
is when you bring the artists in to
Yeah.
talk about it, when you bring the pixel artists in to talk about it, right? Like you get that in-world connection where people can see your art and then you're talking about it live, right? Like we've only done one, but like we're creating a whole new genre, potentially a bigger genre than Uplift itself. Tune in for our next happy hour in the Uplift world. I don't know where we're gonna be, but like that.
No,
was
I think
huge,
yeah, we gotta
right?
pick. We gotta pick a piece of
I love
land.
it.
Actually, anybody in the community, maybe we should do a poll in the Discord to see where we should do it next, and people can just kind of submit things because we definitely have to pick a spot. We started doing happy hour Friday nights. The very first one as a DAO was last Friday. We did it at the old cathedral, which is where like everything started, right? Like that was the first building that ever got built anywhere in the Uplift. But we should definitely do it at some community plot somewhere.
I agree.
You know, maybe even like break ground in Ethereum, but it'd be cooler to kind of do it at like a community members plot or maybe a portal hub or some shit crazy shit or whatever.
But imagine
we'll,
like
do
when
that.
you guys release your next project, right? Like you could do a happy hour Twitter spaces, right? In the Uplift metaverse where everyone could see the art on display before they can buy it.
I like
And
that.
follow
So,
the QR codes to that.
Do you
right?
guys want to see? We should probably get you guys in. I wonder if we'll talk about this over the next day or two. But you have the option to do a creative map or a survival map. Survival map plugs you into the in-game economy for Upliftium, where you can basically go and like buy a bunch of materials from people that are setting them up in shops, or cultivate it yourself in a little piece of land that you get, or whatever. So like for like gamers, that ends up being a much better choice. Or you can go creative, where it's just basically just like you have any block you want, you can just build it up, but it's never going to be connected to the rest of the sort of like in-game materials economy. Anyway, so I just have the maps up already because they are live now.
I haven't even seen them.
I know. This just happened now.
I haven't seen it. Like, show it.
So here is the creative map. Called Etheria.
Etheria.
Yeah,
So good.
little block. There we go.
Right.
So yeah, there's a big, huge mountain range right next to spawn, which is going to be really interesting.
Is this all in Minecraft?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the whole thing's built on Minecraft.
I've never even played Minecraft.
Yeah, I hadn't either. And the first time I did, Corey blacklisted me because I broke his shit.
Yeah. Just for context, this is
Holy.
Genesis.
This is Genesis, yeah.
And like that, where we put the gratitudes up, right, is in this building right here.
This is all you?
Okay.
Genesis is
Okay.
Uplift?
So no,
Dude, this is one map of 8.
So Genesis is not Uplift. The building that Corey just showed you is where we put the gratitudes, but all of these, Corey, click on the plots, click on the plots tab. So all of these, now you can see like all of these plots have been divvied out to different people who are in the community who own these plots, right? So that one plot that Corey showed you belongs to our show, right? Like we
this one.
we use that show, but there's like tons of plots all around it. There's 50 by 50s, there's 250 by 250s, there's 100 by 100s. I think if you go into the Ethereum world, it's going to be 64 by 64.
32 by 32, and there's a couple 64 by 64s all over the place.
Okay,
they're smaller, still really tall. Like you can basically put like a 250 meter tower on that plot. So there's still tons of room, but the footprint's going to be a little bit lower. So what we've been learning is that smaller maps will basically just like it solves lag. You can get more people on it. It just makes a lot more sense.
So Corey, again, one more time, go to the click the plots tab. I know it's annoying, but click this because
it just looks weird.
I just want to push this out and then scroll out a little bit, right? So you can see like you can see the 250 by 250 plots, and then you can see the 50 by 50 plots. And what we showed you at the beginning of the show with the mall gallery, with the Star Wars, fan art gallery, was one of the smaller plots that you see on the map.
Yeah.
So that was just like
squares?
it was one of those super small squares that was contained in that.
That whole gallery, if you actually took about 2/3 of it, the footprint, which would actually just mean cutting the outside of the tower off on 2 sides, so you could still have that entire building there, contextually, would totally fit. Like you could make most of that fit on a 32 by 32. So there's tons of fucking room. And they're even in the mall gallery. He's barely even using half of the vertical space for that. And really, like, huge shout out to Mall Gallery. I mean, there's been lots of galleries that came out since. Rocket Gallery was the first person to really dive into art galleries in the uplift and kind of show us what's possible. But what Mall Gallery did with a 50 by 50 had everyone like fucking scratching their heads, going like, "Oh my god, this is incredible!" It is,
and
again,
used it all,
and it's really, really good.
You're totally right. Like, hats off to Rocket Gallery, but you guys could do the same thing, right? Like, you've got a community of people who are over there on Solana. They could display their artwork on your plot, right? Like, you could plug that into a community incentive where people would come by and see it. Sorry, I get a little bit excited about the album.
Right? So yeah, you guys saw Genesis. This is Chicken Cock.
This would be awesome for post mint, just some fun.
Yeah, for sure. We should totally hold like a post mint party at on your plot. And again, we can get like images up from the NFTs, like basically any images you guys want to have up. And then I highly recommend embedding QR codes in the images, and then people just like point their phone at the computer and they're off to whatever website you guys, or Discord or whatever, right? But yeah, I mean, the amount of building that's gone on in just a year, we've been open since last March, is utterly mental. Like, it's
do you know how
many
hours of
TC.
work is all this?
What's that?
How many hours of work is all this?
It depends on the builder. Like, none of this. Like, none of this
is not only
us.
one builder. It's a lot of.
Oh
people.
no! This is the whole community, right? Every single one of these plots is an NFT that we sold, right? So we sell an NFT that, and we'll like when we
or gave away.
Yeah. When we get to minting on Ethereum, which is where your plot's going to be, you're going to have an NFT on Ethereum that you could build the whole thing up and then sell it as like an entity if you want to. Like, this is going to be yours, right? Wow. And you'll be able to whitelist members of your community to that plot. So every single one of these things, somebody bought a piece of land and they went in and they built something fucking incredible.
Hey,
right?
Corey, this is a really good use case to scroll into the who are they? The guys who did the Pokemon NFT build that got destroyed.
Hey, I mean, yeah, I'll go back to Genesis to do that. But like, have you looked at Uplift recently? So this is a survival map, guys. Like,
Uplift is flipping nuts.
Uplift is nuts. So like, every single block on this had to be mined or created, right? Because like on the creative maps, you could do literally what anything you want, right? You just magic yourself 100 trillion diamonds. It doesn't really matter. Here, every single thing you have to either buy from a chest from somebody else with our in-game currency called Upliftium, or you have to mine from your own land, right? So like what people have done is mental.
Hours and hours of time in game mining things to be able to create the resources and materials for this.
This has to be a shop, right? Oh, hey, NFT Stonkers is in world right now.
You're actually really close to Chia Pet's thing as well. And like, people are holding events. People are like we've got some really good community members who are holding events. They're holding quests. They're holding these things where people can plug in. And we're at the point now where I just want to. We're kind of selling ourselves to you, but like the whole reason that we're selling ourselves to you right now is because you belong here. You guys are creating a community first project where people can actually come in and interact with it, right? Like, and that's what we want to do. Like, we have this ability to create experience worlds where we can like take the server off chain and plug it into another plot, and people can have events, and NFTs can be given away, and all of this stuff, is workable. And there's other Minecraft NFT projects that, sorry, fuck it, they don't do shit right now.
Yeah, we're getting 2 a.m. honest, Jimmy. I mean, this is how this works over in Japan.
Yeah, right. Like this is a workable community where people can come in and do stuff, and we don't know how to define it yet because we're not play to earn, we're not we're not play to gain, but like people who come in here, right? Like, there's a whole ecosystem, and I just want to plug communities who have communities into this ecosystem so that we can perpetually increase the value of those communities, right? The Racetrack Grand Exchange is building for me needed multiple huge ice farms, over 16,000 packed ice, I think, which was like, an in-world economy in itself. Like
Right.
I remember the in-world DMs. It's
I have a stupid question.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no questions are stupid. Corey will tell you that.
On my good days.
Can you like play inside of these? Like, can you
Yeah.
have a character that walks or drives?
Oh yeah,
or
no,
flies?
yeah, it's Minecraft.
That's where we were at the beginning of the
We'll get
game
you-
when
we
Corey
can
was
get you-
putting up those signs.
That was me in game. So like the whole thing is on this new
First
map.
person. Can it be like a third person? Can you do that? I don't know.
Yeah, you can change perspective so that you can like see your avatar going around.
Yeah.
And you can
Corey,
also use skin decks to make different skins. So there's at least one project on, and it's like a cool PFP project now too, actually, on Wax that's actually creating skins and then mapping them to NFTs and selling them. And so that you buy that NFT, you can download the skin for that and be wearing it in the uplift an hour later. So that's people are.
It would be awesome to have like a building or a house where you, I don't know, you get like it's like one house is a casino, another one you play something else, and another one you play another thing. I don't know if that's if that's something that can be integrated into
it's like actual gameplay. What I would say is like putting up pictures we can do, right? So as far as like having interactive stuff, we've got the ability to I'm not sure what you mean, TC. I guess we could I could get in the world.
Oh, he wants you in game, not on the
I
2D
could like
map,
step
right?
on Ethereum for the first time, which I actually haven't done yet.
No, any world in game. Just get the fucking game and get off this 2D map. Like this 3D map
I haven't seen
awesome,
these maps
right?
in a while. And like, shout out to freaking Uplift, man. Like,
right?
Holy crap!
When I see this, it reminds me of
this is gratitude, man.
It reminds me of SimCity or like Roller Coaster Tycoon or The Sims.
Yeah,
this looks awesome.
So what's interesting about this is like, fuck, Corey, should we build a SimCity uplift? I mean,
this is the thing. Like, we don't control what's getting built. Like that's all people, having their own ideas, right? It's been really important for us to build, a platform where other people could go in and build experiences. So again, like at your headquarters, Jimmy, hold on for a second, please. For the love of God, 2 a.m. Jimmy's hard to deal with. I love you. So like the functionality for projects that are coming in, we've got it set up right now so that we can put these little signs up on your post, and people can like join up or like get in world with NFT passports, go to your land and like high five it, and it tracks them, right? So as far as like in-game functionality that isn't Minecraft, right? Because if you're in a survival world, you've got all of those things that you can do, like farming and building and mining or whatever. But yeah, those are the main functionalities. But what I would definitely suggest doing is, we put a picture of that game up, right? Like the Tappy Skull, right? Just have a picture of that game up and freaking put a QR code on there. The second people get in there, they can, whip their phones out and be headed over to that website instantaneously and be like going and having that, experience, right? Anyway,
it'd be awesome for the
not entirely true, by the way. I just want to point this out. 2 a.m. Jimmy is annoying, but like he's often right. We do have we do have a PG-13 standard because we're running off of Minecraft and we want to conform to their standards. So like nudie picks up in the nudie picks up in the uplift are not cool. But if you send them in DMs, I kind of like them. But like seriously, like we do have standards of what can be put up in the world and what can't, right? But like we don't control it, right? Like once those plots are managed, there's certain things that we control, right? Like we control them for the economy, we control them for the EULA standards, but like Corey said, the majority of it is open, right? Like anything that puts the project at risk, then we'll knock you off, right?
Right.
Does that make sense, Corey?
Yes, 100%.
Makes sense.
So this is a little demo we created for the Meta Art Club, and this is just their website. I just took a screenshot of their website and embedded a little QR code on it, and that QR code goes to their website.
That's awesome.
Their OpenSea thing. Yeah. So somebody was saying we should go over to gratitude, but I think I'm gonna go over to Ethereum because I've never stepped on it before.
Well, and so while Corey does that, I just want to say as well, Corey and I are really excited right now because we're
I love me.
In the process with our team that is branching out to multiple blockchains, and to meet people like you is amazing. Like when Corey and I first started this show, the uplift didn't really exist. Right? Like it wasn't a thing. Like it was here, but it wasn't the uplift, right? It was something else. It was the precursor to the uplift. And when Corey and I first started the show, our whole incentive was to not interview people, not have people come on here, but like to build a community of people who wanted to come on here. So I want to officially announce that like you guys are welcome back anytime to do it.
100%.
I mean, if you want to come back and you know, do your next mint live, please do it. Figure out where we are in the world and come out, and like we'll cover it live. Like we want to build communities that are communities, right? Like,
maybe one of the rewards program, maybe.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? Like we have the capacity in this world. So shout out to Nefty Blocks. We haven't done this yet, Corey, today. But Nefty Blocks is sponsoring our next season, and we can do this with anything, right? Like we could potentially, the rest of the team hasn't caught up with me right yet, because, you know, they're all hung up on the fact that Corey keeps making fun of me for NFT coupons. But like, we
watch, that'll end up being that's going to end up being the preeminent use of NFTs in the future. And I'm just going to be eating crow for the next 30 years.
Right. But like, we could potentially do that, right? Like one of the things that we plug into our reward system here in the world is we have seasons that like people who are in game, it's play to earn. We're calling it play to earn, but like it's not really play to earn. But people who are in game, they get rewarded for their activities. They get rewarded as plot owners. They get rewarded as like active players. They get rewarded as going around and doing things, right? And one of the ideas that I've had that hasn't really caught on yet because we don't have the bandwidth for it. But like what happens when a project like you comes in? You know, Blue did it. Nefty Box is doing it. They're offering tokens. But what happens when we have the capacity? Again, this is going to go back to the DAO because Telos is going to yell at me. But like what? And I'm totally going to propose it. But what happens when we have the capacity to be able to track users in game and then give out partner projects NFTs to a certain number of people, right? And this could totally get shot down because like that's on the non-linear roadmap. That we're only a matter of time before we're going to be voting on doing exactly that. That's absolutely something that we could work into our rewards program really soon, I think. Right. And that's not even the most exciting part about this conversation. The most exciting part of this conversation is when Corey mentioned punch, sign, get thing. People could actually come to your plot. They could punch a sign. They could get a redemption code to be able to go and get one of your free NFTs, which could potentially be plugged into a blend or something like that like incentivizes users to interact with the community in the uplift. And I'm really excited about this. And I'm totally difficult to deal with at 2 a.m. in the morning, but I'm not sure if it's the 2 a.m. difficulty or if it's like the world's on fucking fire and I get to actually go back to building shit and not worrying about price. Because like
this is the way. Yeah, so this is where everybody starts in game. We've got like a little some rules and stuff that are kind of funny memes. Actually, it's sort of.
It's very interesting for us, I think, because this isn't something that we really put any thought into, like this whole detailed metaverse stuff, right? It was more just a little bit more simple, but this is exciting. Like I've never really got into anything like this personally, and I don't think Fernando, you're the same, right? I'd never played Minecraft in my life.
No.
Yeah, I hadn't either until about 6 months before we launched TheUpLifters. I started doing it like as a podcaster and was, you know, sort of podcasting in the space. That's kind of how I met Jimmy and realized through like interviewing all these people that in crypto and like the very kind of beginning upswing of like the NFT phase that all of this shit, we could just do it, right? Like we knew enough about Minecraft and regions to be dangerous and knew that we could map them to NFT ownership, right? So if you own the NFT, we make you the owner of that plot in the game. And now you're the only one that has any build rights there, right? And
the real story is like he got murdered in another game.
We started with Fortnite and that did not go well as podcasters at all. It was just a couple of middle-aged guys getting murdered. So
I'm terrible at Fortnite, so
right. I wanted to show you guys this. This is a huge build that I've undertaken to finish in the next month and a half. It's gonna be a massive dome. And the first little dome is going to be Ethereum, right? So the first 2 worlds that we have, and they're up already. People can go visit them. There's no builds there yet, obviously. Ethereum and Degen 1, which I love that name, is going to be here. So like you'll be able to walk in here. You'll be able to walk into whichever world you guys pick where you guys want to have your embassy, and all of the things that the maps that get minted. And again, these are all kind of small maps now, but all of them that get minted on Ethereum, they're all going to be in this room. And I mean, if we decide to go to Solana next, the Solana dome will be right there. So you'll be able to walk from, any land that you guys end up owning on the Solana chain over to Ethereum. And when you're in world, it's not going to matter, right? Like when you're in there, this is where we can actually start connecting all the different tribes so that there's advertisements for projects on Solana, on Ethereum, on Wax, on, wherever there's a whole lot of energy, like this Grand Central Station dome. I've got this sort of, really excessively ambitious vision for is going to be that place, right? Where like just everybody's going to be rubbing shoulders in all of Web3. And it's going to be pretty awesome. Anyway, I've only got a half an hour and I got to go talk to TC really quick. And then I got another meeting.
I
have to run,
but you should totally go. And I just want to say, fuck tribe. Fuck tribalism. There's a little bit of a nugget in there.
Go tribe with a Y. It's got feelings.
But
go ahead,
guys, please come back sometime. Please come back and let's get some of your NFTs up there. Corey, this is what I want to do. Like I burned a shit ton of Upliftium, pre-DAO.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to, I've got no use case for it. Like, I've got my own NFT line, but there's not that many Upliftium. So I think somewhere around Uplifters Tower, I want to put up a few, picture installs of NFTs that relate back to the guests that we love. And maybe these guys can be the first. Yeah, for real. I seriously think we need to put a gallery at the, underneath Uplift Tower or even outside, right? Like, we've got all those plots on the outside or whatever. Like, I'm 100% in. I totally think we should do that. That'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, honestly, send me. Just make sure we get this started. Send me one image, Jimmy, with a QR code or with a link. I can make the QR code and embed it, right? And I'll get it up because I actually have some Upliftium as well, so we can start burning that to do that. And I'd love to have promote these guys up, and we'll do just I totally
again. I would love to, keep going with the conversation, and if we can do it live, and watching you guys go around in the worlds you've created, it would be amazing.
We could totally do that. Well, and when I'll find out where you guys will be on one of these new maps, and when we can go there together first on air and just go and see it before anybody puts anything on there, and then we can stream that live.
Love it.
And I mean, we're really grateful for you having us on. If you could, both of you, please drop us your Solana wallets and we'll gift you a SkullClub NFT each. So just
that would be that would be so awesome.
And we'll
suddenly I need a Solana wallet for the first time, and this is how you get sucked in.
Corey's got to peace out, but if you guys could hang around a little bit after the show, I'll
if you guys want to keep going, by all means, do it. Really great to meet you guys, man. Thanks.
You too, man.
We're out.
Thanks, mate.
The chat.
Great to meet you.